This is Waga. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to continue building our Chill app, the app on the simulator. And last time we worked on the matches repository. You can see here we did a bit of correction, and we worked on to do with the upgrading of Flutter and a few breaking changes and a few things we needed to correct. And today we're going to continue with the matches. We're working with matches currently, and what we're going to do in matches is we're going to work with the blocks, right? We're going to work on the matches block, and yeah, basically that. As always, first and foremost, like the video, star the repository on GitHub, and if you have a comment, you can leave it in the comment section. And so we are going to continue from there, continue with where we left off, and we create the blocks using our plugin. It's becoming second nature for us right now, so I'm sure we all know how to go about that. So we can come to Chill, and we can come to the lib folder, and we can come to blocks, and we could right click, create a new package in blocks. It's going to be block.matches, like so, and we hit OK, and we come to matches, we right click, new, we go to the block generator, we create a new block, and we can call this matches, like so. Do you want to use equatable? Yes, so that you can compare the various events and states, because of that only has referential equality. I think I've explained this several times over, so this should be completely understandable to you. So first things first, we would close all, come back to the matches, and first we have the what's it called, the battle file for exporting. We have the blocks, we have the events, and we have the state. As is our custom, we start off with the state. That's where we're going to start off. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. The thing we could do to make our lives a bit easier is come to the abstract class. I've talked about abstract classes before. I'm sure you can just go through the catalog and find out. And we could come here, and we could copy this. And if we copy this here, since it's in this one extends and inherits from this class, all we could do here is just copy it like this, since we have nothing to compare. So basically that is our initial matches state, and our initial matches state is not going to be called that. It's just going to be called the loading state, like so. And if we do this, of course, it's going to complain because on the block matches block it says initial matches. We'll correct that when we get there. So let's continue with our state, and afterwards the next one is going to be, we actually only have two states. There's this loading state and the load user state. So the load user state, we could just copy this and type Command D if you're on Mac, and give it a bit of space, give ourselves a bit more real estate, like so, and we change this name to load user state. Load user state, like so. And we come here in the load user state, we're going to be comparing states based on the matched list and the selected list. And to handle that, we would come here and we create two variables. We can say final stream, it's going to be of type query snapshot, and for that we need, of course, to import the Cloud Firestore, and this is going to be called matched list, like so. It's going to complain, but we're going to sort it out in a bit, and we can hit Command D, and this one is going to be called, I'm guessing the same as Command or Control D on Windows. Don't quote me on that. I suspect it's true. I haven't done it before. You've done the same the command on Windows, but the problem is when you come from VS Code and I'm coming from a web development world, you know other shortcuts on VS Code which are not exactly directly transferable to Android Studio. They should have a standards board, like, you know, so that they set them all to be the same, that you don't have to remember. But I'm sure there's a plugin that sorts it out. Anyway, back from the deviation, we can come here and we can get where we can generate. Come here, right click, create constructor for the final fields. or just, is it Command N? Constructor, okay. Select both, or you could hit Command N. I'm guessing it's the same for Windows. We could make this named, so we could come here and do this and do this like so. And remember, since we do this, we're going to compare them based on the matched list and selected list, the events. So we could just come here and copy this with the override with 2 R's. Copy, come down here, and we're going to have matched lists, comma, and selected list, like so. So we have these two, and basically, yeah, that's our entire matches state. And yeah, basically this is it. So we can now move to, from the state, we can move to the events. Let's continue, and we come to the matches event, and that's what we're going to build in this. We're going to build now. What we could do is we could come to matches state, and we can copy this. Yeah, we could copy it here. Come, hit copy, come here, and paste it like so. And after that, we are going to the first one, the first event you're going to look out for is the load lists event. Load lists event, and for that we could say class load lists event like so. And this is going to extends rather, not going to extend, it extends our matches event like so. And yeah, and we're going to be comparing the user ID, the events based on the user ID, and we could pass in the user ID like so. And it's going to complain because we have not created that, and for that we could press Command N, hit a constructor, hit OK, and we have this, and make it named like so. And over here we can just come back and recycle as much code as possible. Copy this again, copy, and we're going to compare them based on what you've passed in here, which is the user ID, like so. And yeah, that we have the accept user event, and that's what we're going to build. Yeah, we are going to say we could just copy this line and then change the name, save us a bit of typing, come down here, copy it like so. We could say it's called accept user event like so. And yeah, like so, come here, and we're going to create a couple of variables or fields. This is a class after all. We could say string, we'll just declare them on the same line because they're all of type string, I believe. Yeah, and you can just do it on the same line. So we could say current user, comma, selected user, comma, and selected user name. Basically, these are some of the things we pass along in in the repository, if you can remember that video, which was I think the last video we did. Select username, oh sorry, it's selected username, not select username. Selected user photo URL. The next one is selected user photo URL. Remember to make it camel case. And current username, and current photo URL, like so, and you put a semicolon here. So we have the current user, the current username, the current photo URL, the selected user, the selected username, and the selected photo URL, and they're complaining because we have not created the constructor. And we can say this, and we could add this, yeah, like so, and we come down here, and we could borrow this code, borrow a bit of code, come down here, do the same here, and basically have all this lined up together. And for that, we could just come here and copy. Since we're going to be comparing them based on this, we could just hit copy and paste them here and save. And that formatter is going to do its wonders for us. And basically we have the accept user event, right, like so. And yeah, so let's go to the next event. We have two more events to go over. We have two more events to go over. Sorry for that. And the first one is going to be delete user event, and to aid us, we could just come here and copy this. We could copy this, hit the copy, and come down here, and with the close it out. Except, oh no, this is supposed to be delete user, so we could come here and say delete, delete user. And this one is going to have a couple of variables or fields. We could say declare them all on the same line, of course. It's going to take the current user and the selected user. So we could say current user, comma, selected user, like so. And after that, it's complaining because we need to create the constructor. We could hit command N, hit the constructor, like so, select them both, hit OK, and they come down here and we make them named parameters, like so. The official name is named optional parameters, of course, but I'm sure you know your dat, so this is no problem. And one way we could get around this is we could come here and copy all this. Let's copy all this and then get rid of what we don't want, and come down here and we can paste it. And what we're going to get rid of are exactly these ones that have been marked, like so. And then we hit save, like so, and we have the current user and the selected user, and we can now round it out and finish it out. We could say, we could copy this, and basically it's going to be the same, right? So open chat is this event when you hit this, right? So when you come here and you copy, like so, you could copy, come here, and this is going to be open chat event. It's going to be open chat event, and this is going to be open chat event. And yeah, so basically that's that. And so like that, we are through with our events. We have done the therefore there's a load list event, accept user event, delete user event, and open chat event. Yeah, so the 4 are done. It's time to move to the block. And the first thing we could do is the initial state here is actually the loading. It's the loading state, right? So it's the loading state, like so. So we can do that and save. And first we can create a variable here of type can bring in the match repository. So we can say the matches repository, and it's going to be matches repository. I don't know, I keep saying match repository. Matches repository, and of course Matches Bloc is going to have a dependency on our repository. And rather than type out all the code, I think we have done this several times over. So let's look at the profile block, it has a repository on the user repository. Yes, so we come here, we copy the profile block like so, come to the matches block and paste it and adjust to suit us. Come here and we can say matches block like so, and this is going to be the matches repository like so, and this is going to be the matches repository like so. Why is this complaining? Oh, user, we're saying user here. I forgot, it's supposed to be matches repository. We're just saying it's not going to be null, and this is going to be matches repository. Oh, sorry, mistake, matches repository, and this is going to be matches repository like so. And oh, required is complaining because we need to bring in the meta package. I've talked about annotations, I believe, and this is going to be matches block is it's going to have a dependency of the matches repository, and we are telling it that the matches repository is not going to be equal to null, and yeah, setting that to that. Okay, fine. So now we can start. We can come here to the map event state, and yeah, we come here to async star. We now input the logic, and we could check on the various events. If the event is load list event, if the event is load list event, we can have the yield star. I talked about yield star, so I'm sure you are familiar with it, and we can call it map load lists to state like so, and it's going to take current user ID, which is going to be event dot user ID basically. And of course we could finish this and then come to this, or we could do it. Which one is going to be let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's come here and create let's wait for this bulb, and we can create the method. And yeah, on this method we type stream. Of course it will complain, but matches state like so, and then we could come do a bit of cleanup over here, yeah, and come down here, and it's going to be async, of course. It's going to be an async method. Async, yeah, async star. This is a stream. Yeah, this is an async star. I was wondering. First it's going to yield, not yield star, yield the loading state like so. Let me just minimize this. Okay, and we continue. It's going to yield the loading state, and then afterwards we're going to get the matched lists. Wait, what do you call it? Map load lists to state. We should capitalize this. Lists to state, and map load lists to state. Capitalize this, yeah, make it uniform. We could say matched lists, and this is going to be equal to we're going to reach over to the repository. We could say matches repo, and we're going to get matched list, and we're going to have the matched list is going to take the current user ID like so, and this is going to be a stream. Wait, this is going to be a stream, of query snapshot, like so. Yeah, and matched lists, and I think this should be matched list. We should make it one, because in the repository we say get matched list. Let's make it conform. We could say matched list, like so, and map load lists to state. I think that one can be, we can call it map load list to state, rather. Map load list to state, and yeah, like so. So there. And after this, when we get the matched lists, which is going to reach over into our matches repository and get the matched list. Yeah, and after that we're going to do the same for the selected list, right? And for that we could just copy this. It's going to be basically the same thing. Copy. I'm going a bit faster because I think this series has really run for a long time, and I feel like we should be winding up. Like, these are repetitive actions, like working with blocks. I'm sure by now, after struggling, maybe if you have not seen blocks in the first video, you now know what's going on. So our goal should be to get to different things, to work on different things rather than the same thing. This is basically just repeating a block after a block. I think we have had several blocks. How many blocks have we had? We have had the authentication block was the first one, the login block, the matches block, the profile block, the search block, the sign up block, and we're not done. We still have the messages block, and yeah, I think there are 2 more blocks left. So basically, you know what is happening. It's going into the repository, it's getting this method, and this method requires the user ID, and we're passing on the current user ID. So basically it's the same, and this should be get, instead of get matched list, it should be get selected. Get selected list, and we pass in the current user ID. And when we do this, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to yield a new state. It's going to be load user state, like so, and the user state requires a matched list and a selected list, and it's going to be a matched list is going to be, you guessed it, our matched list, like so. Our selected list is going to be, you guessed it, our selected list, like so. So basically we are done with the map load lists to state, and now we can move on to the next one. And the next event we have to look at is we could just copy this, and we can paste it like so. And the next event we need is the delete user event. So wait, if it's map load lists to, if it's load lists to event, let's go over to the event and see if it's load lists or load lists. Load lists, okay. Yeah, okay, I guess it's fine. It's fine, although it could be load list. I was wondering why there's a lack of inconsistency. It's not very consistent. Anyway, the ID, as long as it's the same in the ID, it's the same. It's okay. It's not going to create any errors. Yeah, or at least we can hope. We can say here it's delete user event, right? And we can just delete the event. The delete if it's delete user event, we run the map delete to states, right? Map delete to state, and this one is complaining because well, actually it's event.current, because it needs two parameters, and the next one is selected user ID, like so, and this is going to be event dot selected user, like so. And afterwards we create this. We can come here and create a method map delete to state, and map delete to state is it's going to be a fairly straightforward one. We could just copy this line like so, copy it, come down here, paste it, give it a bit of space, go back up, correct this, right? I think now you are clear on what blocks do, right? They just take we take the event and we map it to the state, and then we run off to the repository and get the method. Basically, that's what happens. And so we could come here to map delete state, and map delete state is going to take that and that, and it's going to be, of course, we have to write it's on an async star because it's a stream, don't forget that. And we could come down here, and all we need to do is go to our matches repository, get the delete user, pass in the current user ID and the selected user ID like so, and hit that, and that should be our map delete. Is it map delete or map delete user? If event is map delete user, okay, let's just delete. Okay, map delete to state. Let's make it delete user. It's supposed to be map. Originally, when I was building it, it was map delete user to states, right? And we can correct it here. So let's say map delete user to event to state, and that is the map delete user to event. Let's go to the next one. Method we could do is for ease, we could just copy this, come down here, paste, and the next one is open chat event, and this one is going to be open chat event if the event is open chat event, and this is going to yield the open map open chat map open chat to state. Should be map open chats to states, right? It's going to be map open chat to state. We could say map delete user to state. Yeah, map open chat to state, and it's and this one map open chat to state, I think it takes the same thing. The current user ID is going to be event to the current user, the selected user ID is going to be event.selected user. It's complaining because, well, we haven't done the required, and it's to come here, and we can copy this line. We copy this line like so, we copy it, come down here, paste it, give it a bit of space, and yeah, and it's going to be async star because it's a stream, as you know. And we come down here and we go up there to correct this. I don't know why our ID is a bit too helpful for its own growth. And we can hit save, and we can come down here, and in the async star, what we could do is basically it's the same, right? It's we go to the matches repository and we pass in the current user and the selected user. Yeah, basically that's how we do it. And yeah, so we could just come here, copy this, copy like so, paste, map, report, not delete. It is instead of delete, we open chat. We want open chat, and open chat has current user ID. I think they're named, right? So we could say current user ID. It's going to be this, and selected user ID is going to be that, like so. So we do that, and we have the open chat in the map repository. Yeah, so that's basically that. And yeah, and we can move on to the next, and I think the final mapping. This one is map accept user to state, right? And we could go up here and we check if the event is accept user to state. So we could say, we could just copy this. Let's copy this first line. We could copy it like so. Copy, come down here, and if event is not open chat, if the event is first we close off the braces and we come here and we say if event is accept user, if event is accept user event, like so. If we want to accept the user, what we're going to yield star is the map accept user to state, like so. And yeah, and this one is going to take the current user ID capitalized, sorry, ID is going to be event dot current user, like so, comma, and selected user ID is going to be event dot selected user, and the name next is, we could say current user name, and this is going to be event dot current user name, like so. Yeah, come down here and we can just hit Command D. After that, it's going to be current user photo URL, current user photo URL. This is going to be event dot current user user photo URL, like so. And I think we need to put a comma here. And after that, we could copy this because we're dealing with a selected user ID, and we could copy that current user photo. Why is this complaining? Current. Ooh, I said current photo URL. Let's go to the event. Let's look for current. It's supposed to be current user photo URL, right? So we say current user photo URL, come here and say current user. Yeah, the advantage is that it helps you catch mistakes that you make as you're typing. So we go back to our block and we say current user photo URL, like so. Okay, that's sorted. And after that, we can copy. We're now with the selected users, right? So we come here and we copy this, we put it, and this is going to be selected user, is it name? Selected user name. Yeah, it's going to be name and select event.selected user name, like so. And after that, it's going to be, we could just hit Command D and come here and say select user no, here it's also supposed to be current user photo URL, like so, Yeah, last time we also had an issue with the photo URL, I remember, a couple of videos back. So you could say current selected user photo URL. This is going to be event.selecteduser.p photo URL, like so. And yeah, and we put a semicolon here and we save, and after we save, it is complaining because we have not created it. We come here, we create a method, and we come down here and we could copy this, give it a space, and come up here, and we can delete this, like so. Save, come back down here, and this is going to be a stream, so it's going to be async star, and yeah, and now we can work on it. And this is just going to be we're going to await. Wait, let's give it a bit of space. We can say await. What we want is the matches repository, and in it we want the select user, and it's basically all that is required is that, and we can hit semicolon here, like so. So async matches repository, it's current user ID, selected user ID, current user name, current user photo URL, selected user ID, selected username, and selected user photo URL. So basically that is our block done. And yeah, one is there's an error I made. This is supposed to be current user photo URL, current user photo URL, like so. And yeah, and so we save that, and so we're done with our blocks. We have done the matches block, the matches event, and the matches state. I think we have everything. Now what we want to do is start building this page here, and that's what we're going to do in the next video. Thank you for watching. Like the video, leave a comment if you have in the comment section, and start the repository on GitHub. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.